Yes.
Now that it's 6 o'clock, I'd like to call to order the September 9, 2025 Town of Van Buren Zoning and Planning Board meeting. Can you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can you please do roll call?
James Bose,
Yes, here.
Mark Budash,
Here.
Jesse McMahon,
Here.
and Roger Roman.
Yes.
And
Claude Sykes, Jim Shajerbach, and James Virginia.
James is walking in.
James did? All right, so just before we get started, I want to introduce our new codes clerk, which is Camry Catevelis. She just started on Monday, so this is her first zoning and planning board meeting. She'll be taking notes, so we do ask that when you do come up and present your applications, please use the microphone and speak clearly. We might ask a few additional questions for clarification, just for note-taking purposes, but I appreciate your awareness of it, and we'll move on from there. So, the August 12th, 2025 meeting minutes, any comments to the minutes as sent out via email? Hearing no comments, Chair entertain a motion to approve the August 12th, 2025 meeting minutes.
So moved.
Hearing first and second, any comments? Hearing no comments, all those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Approved. Okay. First agenda item is PV solar ground mount, 1431 Old State Route 31, tax map ID number 046-06-11.3. This is for a special use permit. Chair entertained a motion to enter into a public hearing for PV solar ground mount.
Move.
Second.
Hearing first and second, any comments? Hearing no comments, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Against? Let it be known that we're now in public hearing. Can you please come up and give your name and address?
My name is Peter Coates, 300 Charles Ave, Syracuse, New York.
Can you just give a quick presentation or explanation of what you're looking to do here?
We are looking to put up a 44 module ground mounted array for solar. 23.32 kWdc, just a standard ground mount for solar PV residential.
So this was originally, is there an image that you could just put up on the board to just show the location of the array? If you don't mind hanging it right up there on that board, just so we can, the public can see it and we can get it on video, please. And the location of this is set to the, what would be the northeast corner of the property? The back
Yes.
northeast corner of the property?
Yeah.
It's approximately 189 feet off of the back of face of the building, or the house, I mean.
Yes, it's at the rear of the property, yeah.
Any additional items?
I don't believe so.
You said this is a 44 panel system, 23.32 kilowatt DC. And 22.8 kilowatt AC, is that correct?
Yes, yeah, 44 modules. Yeah, and a DC 2332 and the AC 2280.
All right. I want to open up for comments of the public. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak for or against this application? I ask again, is there anybody in the audience who would like to speak for or against this application? Hearing no comments, Chair entertain a motion to exit public hearing and enter back into general session.
Second.
Hearing first and second, any comments? Hearing no comments, all those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Let it be known that we're back in general session for PV solar ground mount 1431 Old State Route 31, tax map ID number 046.06-11.3. Can you just give your name and address again, please?
Peter Coates, 300 Charles Ave, Syracuse, New York.
Okay, so we did receive 2 letters back from Onondaga County Planning, one for the special use permit review and one for the site plan review. Both came back with no position on the recommendation, so we are clear with that. Does the board have any additional comments on this application or for the special use permit or site plan? Okay. I'm going to quickly do seeker here. Assuming this is an unlisted action. Am I correct in saying that? The board does declare itself lead agency proceeding on an uncoordinated review. The matter is in an unlisted action, and after reviewing the short environmental assessment form, does hereby render a negative declaration, finding there are no adverse environmental impacts to be realized. End of motion.
Second.
Hearing first and second, any comments? No comments, all those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Approved? I'm going to go ahead, if the board doesn't have any other comments on this, I'm going to go ahead and read the resolution. Jeffrey Hager, as owner and Alternative Power Solutions of New York, a representative, collectively applicants, seek a special use permit to operate a 23.32 kilowatt DC and a 22.80 kilowatt AC ground-mounted photovoltaic solar energy array on property located at 1431 Old State Route 31, tax map number 046.06-11.3, pursuant to section 200-90 of the Town of Van Buren zoning code. The property is located in the R40 zoning district. In support of the request, applicants submitted a special use permit application, a short environmental assessment form, correspondence from Weisling Consulting PLC, proof of insurance, a site plan documents prepared by Weisling Consulting PLC, consisting of sheets PV-1 titled cover page, sheet PV-2 titled site plan and with modules, sheet PV-3 titled racking detail, sheet PV-4 titled single line diagram, sheet PV-5 titled wiring calculations, sheet PV-6 titled placards, and sheet PV-7 titled equipment specifications. The representative from Alternative Power Solutions appeared to explain the proposal and address the concerns of the board, explaining that the 44 panels are projected to generate 23.32 kilowatt DC and 22.80 kilowatt AC. There was no objection to the proposal at the Zoning Board of Appeals public hearing, which was held on September 9, 2025, pursuant to public notice. Based upon the submissions of the applicant and proof taken at the public hearing, the board resolves as follows. 1, this matter is subject to the State Environmental Quality Review Act seeker and is classified as an unlisted action. During the September 9, 2025 meeting, the board appointed itself lead agency for uncoordinated review of this matter. The board found that granting the requested relief will not result in any significant adverse impact upon the environment and therefore renders a negative declaration for purpose of seeker. The property is not located in a critical environmental area, and as proposed, the use will not pose any significant impact upon the water, air, agricultural resources, or community character and growth. 2, relative to section 200-80C5 of the zoning code, the board issues the following findings and determinations. A, because the proposed use is allowed by special use permit, the use complies with the applicable intent and regulations of the code. B, the proposed use is located on a parcel zone R-40 and is consistent with the long-term development objectives of such area. The proposed use is appropriate for the amenities available to the property and will not impede development of the area as intended by the town's comprehensive plan. C, the scale and design of the use is in compliance with town requirements and as a result of the placement of the array on the property shall be visually compatible with conditions of the site and surrounding properties. D, the design of the site does not create any significant traffic issues. E, the use is designed and shall be operated in a manner that minimizes off-site disturbance of natural and cultural resources. Because the proposed solar arrays are ground-mounted and is the use minimally disturbs agricultural soils and is consistent with the soil capabilities of the site to accommodate the use of water runoff has been properly controlled. F, the use fits within the New York State Energy Plan and encourages and creates new opportunities for alternative fuels, which has been declared a priority of the state. The goals of the state are 40% reduction in greenhouse gas emissions from 1990 levels, 50% electricity will come from renewable energy resources, and 600 trillion BTU increase in statewide energy efficiency. G, emissions from the site are minimal and shall not impact surrounding properties. H, the physical characteristics of the property are suitable for and conducive to the proposed solar array without modification to the established character of the surrounding area. And I, the cumulative impacts of the single solar array use will not unreasonably interfere with or diminish the continued use, enjoyment, or growth of the surrounding area or community. A special use permit is hereby granted in accordance with section 200-90 of the zoning code for property located at 1431 Old State Route 31, tax map number 0646-06-11.3. End of resolution.
Moved.
Second.
Can I get a roll call vote, please?
Do all these drawings need to be stamped for this, or just, there's only like 3 of them are stamped and sealed? I don't know if that matters for the site plan, or for the special permit, but I imagine we gotta be stamped and sealed for the permit.
Just looking at what's also included in some of these that they may not need to be stamped.
Plus, we only listed up to drawing sheet PD7, and there's 15 in the set that he,
I went off the cover sheet.
I don't know if it's a big deal or not, but
No, we can,
I listed as the cover sheet shows them and list them, the sheet index. That's
yeah, the only thing that changes is the equipment specification ends up being PV7 through
PV 15, right?
15.
Yeah, I did it as plus. If you look at the resolution,
I didn't read the
7
plus, so that's why, yeah.
I'll just do, instead of plus, I'll do dash 15 through 15.
Okay. In regards to the stamp, that needs to be stamped, that should be stamped. I don't think the single line diagram needs to be stamped. Pointer and calcs don't need to be stamped. placards don't need to be stamped, and the equipment specification. So really, I think the only sheets that should be and need to be stamped would be the cover, the site plan, and the racking details.
Okay.
Regarding the first and second, are you guys good with the edits as mentioned?
Yes.
Okay. Roll call vote, please.
Mark Udash,
Yes.
James Virginia,
Yes.
James Shashabak,
Yep.
Jamie Bose, Roger Roman,
Yes.
Claude Sykes, Jesse McMahon.
Yes.
Approved. Thank you very much.
Well done. Take it on.
I know.
There's certain sheets in our drawings that we don't select.
Yeah. I figure it's more important for the building permit
Yes.
than anything.
Yep. Spread out, Jim. All right, next item on the agenda, Little Caesars, 2265 Downer Street, tax map ID number 034-04-06.1. This is for a site plan review and change of use / occupancy. Come up and please give your name and address, please.
Yeah, my name is Vinesh Patel. I'm representing Little Caesars at 2265 Downer Street.
Okay, what are you looking to do?
We are opening up the Little Caesars pizza store at the beauty salon place. It's a vacant area. It's an individual building in a River Mall Plaza, about 3,500 square feet. We are using about 1,700 square feet. It's an interior renovation. We are not touching anything out on the parking or any other area.
So you're basically using the other half of the building that's, the other half's the barber shop, correct?
That is correct, yes.
So this lot is part of the bigger lot that includes the Tops Plaza.
That is correct.
So the questions I guess I have right off the bat here is there a plan to have a drive-through at this location?
We don't have a drive-through. It's
You're
just a
not-
pickup store, like,
Okay,
and there is no seating,
okay.
and we don't deliver like those Grubhub or.
Yep. Okay, so it's just pick up.
Pick up.
So you walk in the door, you pick the pizza up.
Yeah, you
and-
place
and you
order
go.
online or phone and just pick up.
Okay. What about grease trap?
Grease trap we have it. It's shown on the drawing. We do have the grease trap on the plumbing drawing.
Tom, do we have copies of the
I do.
drawing that shows the grease trap and stuff?
I don't have
Yeah, if we have it, I haven't seen it.
I have a architecture on telling us.
I was just writing your thoughts, but I'm just
It's on P1.1.
I don't have any of those drawings. The board doesn't have it either.
No, I don't have any, I have a
Small copy.
set of plans, right?
Yeah.
I just have one set of these.
It's on P1.1.
1.4 you said?
Yeah, 1.1.
Oh, 1.1, gotcha.
Here it is.
Okay.
Sanitary. If you need, I can stop.
No, good, thank you. Here, I can pass these down. It's P 1.1. Okay. So how is that, so the grease trap, how is the grease trap cleaned out? Is that cleaned out from the outside?
He's a manager around in the area, so he.
Can you give me your name and address too, please, then?
Roshni, 8 Tayyip, 7351 Rocky Road, Liverpool.
Okay, so how does that grease trap function?
So we've got a septic company that comes and cleans it up. Depends on the volume of the store, but three times to 4 times a year.
Okay.
And then we'll have documentation for that as well.
And that's access from the outside?
I'm not sure about the drawing. Some stores have it from outside. I'm not sure about this one. It's inside. It's an in-ground or outside grease trap.
Okay, so I guess, let me just go back to that sheet. Sorry.
No, it's okay. No, it's okay.
P 1.1. So we're just, I guess we're concerned about where the location of this would be. I mean, it looks like,
Right now, it's showing outside of the building,
yeah,
on the backyard.
backside, yep,
Backside, yes.
yep. Okay. So, what about signage? What are you proposing for signage outside of the general sign that is there for the whole lot or the whole plaza? Are you adding additional signage? Are you looking for, are you gonna meet the code for signage on the building? Or are you gonna need a variance for signs?
No, we will meet the code.
Okay. The plan is to meet the code?
Yeah, the plan is meet the code.
Okay.
When the county did their review, did they have that set of plans?
I had the site plan. I have the site plan.
It's like this site plan?
Yes.
Okay.
But they have not seen that.
I'm not sure if I have a digital
Yeah,
copy of
yeah,
that.
we see the
And
copy,
I sent
we
that
see
because
the-
I
So
sent
they
them-
saw that
I sent
too?
them everything, yeah.
Kind of figured they saw that just
I sent them
based on the...
I sent them an EAF, an ADS, all the plans, everything that I got from the shop.
Okay.
Because the web, that was the only recommendation was the web,
Right,
which you just touched,
Yeah,
so just
no,
want to make
I'll
sure that they
go
saw
through
that.
that, yep.
Yeah, okay.
So no drive-through. The one thing that we are going to require as part of this site plan approval is and we did this for adjacent properties, is a sidewalk connection out to Downer Street. So we'd like to have a sidewalk spur coming off of Downer Street up into the parking lot and then crossing over to your property or your business, if you would. So we do require that. We need that shown on the site plan itself.
Okay, no problem.
The location of it, I'm not, as long as it connects to your building and it connects to the sidewalk system on the main transportation, which is Downer Street, then I'm good with it, or we're good with it.
There was a.
That would cut away some parking spaces. It is part of the Tops Plaza. That parcel, it's owned by Tops.
Understood. but we'd still like to, I mean, we'd still like to get some sort of a sidewalk connection there.
Okay.
Okay. Any other comments from the board at this point?
I didn't see the plans, just a quick question on them. We've got this one, which isn't signed or dated.
Yeah, I know.
Dumpster, is the dumpster screened?
Yeah, it looks like it's proposed white vinyl fence.
Well,
enclosure
is
for
this
dumpsters.
yeah, but this is, I mean, this is not even.
No, I know. That's why I'm gonna pass those down to you. Is there a detail in there for the enclosure itself? The dumpster enclosure?
No, there is no data, but there is existing concrete pad. I can show you on the here.
Well, I know there's a pad, but
Yeah, so I'm
how are you gonna screen it?
Yes, I'm gonna screen it with PVC vinyl. kind.
Okay, that's gotta be reflected on these plans too then,
Okay, yeah,
okay?
okay.
All right,
I'll ask my architect to put it on.
thank you.
Yeah, I know. We need a detail showing what it actually looks like.
And you'll give us a detailed sheet with the slat markings,
Yes,
right?
of course,
Okay,
yes.
all right, very good.
And on the side.
Ask the chairman.
Yes.
Yes.
I would like to see like what kind of sidewalk mix you want, so I can have it done with my site engineer.
Yeah, I mean, we just need a 5-foot sidewalk, concrete sidewalk connection out to the road.
Oh, to the sidewalk that exists. To the sidewalk that exists along the road.
Sidewalk,
Yes.
not to the road.
Is that what I didn't say that?
You said to the road.
Oh, yeah, so there's an existing concrete sidewalk along Downer Street. We just need a sidewalk, 5-foot sidewalk, concrete,
From my.
from your business, you know,
The sidewalk.
from your parking lot to that existing sidewalk that's out on Downer Street.
Okay.
You know, I don't know how long it's gonna be, I don't think it's gonna be, what is there a distance there?
I mean, that's maybe 10, 12 feet of
Yeah,
grass.
it's not much,
Okay.
but just for access.
Okay. But does that apply to the barber shop too, or just us only?
The barber shop, I can't speak towards the barber shop. I wasn't part of that
Okay, I
approval,
just
so
want to know,
I'm just. I mean, this is, you know, this is something that I think Tom hinted at it, you know, the overall site's owned by the plaza, and it's a discussion that you can have with the site owner itself.
Okay.
We've done that on adjacent properties, right down the road actually, where they were leasing the property from the owner, and then they're responsible for putting the sidewalk in. We did receive comments, so we did take the opportunity to send this out to the county ahead of time, just to move the process along, because their schedule usually doesn't match up with our schedule. So we did receive a comment back that, this is the comment, the Onondaga County Department of Water and Environmental Protection, OCWA, requires the applicant to contact Plumbing Control Division. The number is 31535. Well, we're missing a number here.
Yeah.
So I can't really tell you what the phone number is, but it ends with 6614. To discuss any code requirements for restaurant use of the site, including scheduling and re-inspection of the premises and obtaining the appropriate permits for all plumbing installations or modifications, both within the building and for any exterior improvements.
Yeah, it's
Any other comments from the board? An overall site plan. Yeah, first floor plan. So what we need, you know, these drawings are great because this is more for your building renovations, which you'll work with, you know, codes with on that. We need a stamped site plan. So what you have here is a great start. We just need this needs to be stamped and signed
Okay.
by an engineer, surveyor, or whatever. We know this is, this overall plan shows the property ownership and everything, which is great. We just need to show, what,
Sign and stamp.
yep, sign and stamp site plan showing the sidewalk on it and a detail for the enclosure, the vinyl enclosure.
Is the grease trap noted on that? The cleanout?
Yeah, we'll also need the grease trap shown on this
Yeah.
too. Anything that's on the exterior of the building, you
Yeah.
should show on the site plan.
Site plan.
That's why I was questioning whether or not it was interior or not, so.
Is there anything in that package about signage?
No, there's not, but they said that they were gonna meet the code for signage. Just, so if for some reason you do go over the code, you'll have to come back in front of us to get a variance for signage. So, it's yours. Okay. So this does not require a public hearing. I guess so besides seeker, is there any reason I can't move forward with approving this with the, conditions that those are added to the site plan? And
You can do some.
is the board comfortable with that, or we'd like to see the site plan back before approval's made?
No, I'm okay with it, so long as it's signed and stamped and has our revisions that we've asked, I'm good.
Agreed.
So yeah, you'll just have to, you'll show you'll have a date, you'll have it stamped, signed, everything exterior, sidewalk, detail for the enclosure, grease trap location. Parking wise, you're all covered, across the board, so, we're good there, so. Paper in front of me. Quickly gonna do seeker. The board does declare itself lead agency proceeding on an uncoordinated review. The matter is an unlisted action, and after reviewing the short environmental assessment form, does hereby render a negative declaration, finding there are no adverse environmental impacts to be realized. End of motion.
Move. Second.
Hearing first and second, any comments? Hearing no comments, all those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Approved. Chair entertains a motion to approve the Little Caesars site plan at 2265 Downer Street. Tax map ID number 034.04-06.1. As shown on drawings, site plan, that needs to be dated and stamped and dated with the conditions that those are made and that the sidewalk is shown on the site plan. And number two, that the white vinyl fence enclosure for the dumpster, a detail be shown for that, and that the grease trap at the exterior of the building, on the exterior of the building, at the back of the building, be shown also on the site plan. End of motion.
Second.
Hearing first and second, any comments? Hearing no comments, all those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Approved. So please revise the site plan, get it stamped and signed, get it into the codes office, and then we'll get all the paperwork going and signed off on it. And then you'll work with the codes office on the building permit, and then make sure that you address the county comment regarding the plumbing.
Yes, I'll talk.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Have a good night. All right, next item on the agenda, Jammers Boat Storage, 6952 Winchell Road, tax map ID number 055.04-02.1. This is for a site plan review and an area variance for the side yard setback. Name and address, please.
Good evening, Ben Harold with CHA Consultant, 300 South State Street, Suite 600, Syracuse, New York. So I'm here today on behalf of Lot 1, Winchell Road LLC, the owners of the property seeking a side yard variance along with site plan approval for a boat storage building. As you can see on this overall plan, the Jammers Restaurant is located here. The town DPW building is on this parcel. The Holiday Inn is on this parcel adjacent, and then the throughways in the back. Winchell Road is way over here, and Walters Road is here for reference. So what we're looking to build is an 8-bay boat storage facility for the Rinaldi's, who are the owners of the property. It's a very nice building, honestly. For most people would build a pole barn with metal siding. They're proposing ephes siding with architectural asphalt shingles. So, as I mentioned, we are seeking a side yard variance, a reduction from 25 feet to 10 feet. And that's due to the way the site is laid out and preserving future development opportunities in this rear parcel. So I've got a blown up view here. So as you see, I'm not sure if all of you were on the board when the stage was approved and the patio roof also that received a variance. So there's a driveway currently behind the stage that they will use to access this proposed building. If we were to push the building to 25 feet, this roadway, because of the grading on site, building would shift both planned north and planned east. So the driveway connection up to the building would not work. You'd have to actually move the driveway way back here, which would almost encumber most of the future development area of the site. The driveway would also be higher than the stage if it was to remain here. So you're looking at expanding the driveway, adding almost an acre of impervious area by pushing it those extra 15 feet due to the grading across the site. So they're seeking that side yard setback reduction so this driveway can be maintained and the new driveway and building area will be limited on site. So I guess I'll open it to the board for any questions.
So is this for public boat storage or private boat storage?
This is for his own personal boats.
How many boats does this guy got?
At least 10.
Just kidding.
Several.
I know.
10 days?
Okay.
Nice.
So you're saying that if we didn't grant these variances, and I'm more worried about the one variance actually being that the 10 foot off of the side, I guess it's the rear of the building. I'm just wondering why that can't get moved to 15 feet. You're explaining that it's a grade issue. What Yeah, what are we looking at grade issue wise if it did have to get moved? That driveway, if we had to steepen up the driveway,
So the driveway would be over 15%, and it would be about 1.5 feet higher than the stage. Currently, you can back up to the stage, and if you had a box truck with all of your equipment, the stage is about 3 feet higher than the roadway.
Okay.
So it makes it very convenient for musicians and all this.
okay. What is the proposed slope coming off of the existing driveway to the proposed, that first stretch of the proposed driveway right there?
As we have it shown currently.
Yes.
It's about 7.5%, as steep as they would feel comfortable bringing large boats up.
Do we have any idea what that future development area is gonna be?
At this time, no. I would assume it's gonna be some type of complementary use to the restaurant and the surrounding areas. I know in the past, they've looked at some type of fitness center or gym, but there are currently no plans other than trying to preserve that area for future development.
Board have any comments at this time? We're gonna have to schedule a public hearing for this. But does the board have any insight or comments they'd like to bring at this point?
Get 80 feet deep.
For the,
Yeah, does the building, I guess
Pretty
you're getting
big.
at, does the building have to be that big?
from my understanding, yes, I haven't
I
personally
mean,
seen
you
the boat.
don't tow 60-foot boats, so I don't understand where the 80 feet's coming from.
I can certainly ask them that.
Yeah, I mean, that's my question.
Yeah, I
I
think
mean,
that-
you keep 60-foot boats in a slip, and then they're craned off into a marina. So I'm not sure you'd be towing a 60-foot boat. And then the next question I have, if you are towing a 60-foot boat, what's the dimensions of that asphalt? Doesn't seem like it's quite enough to have a trailer come in there, cut it, and then back the boat in.
Are you talking about the asphalt in front
Yep.
of the doors?
Yep. So, see, stuff just isn't adding up here.
So when you pull in, you can pull in your truck along, there's this gravel as well. So you can pull in here and cut.
Oh, so they're gonna pull onto the gravel.
Yes.
and I,
This is just indicating the new hard surface.
No, I understand, but you're gonna have, my point is, if you're gonna, so if we consider these bays, one being on the, where's the, looks like the west side of the building, right, bay number 1. To put a boat in there, if it's gonna take up, let's say, 70% of the distance there, so let's say 50-foot boat, you're not gonna be able to turn in that paved area and back that boat in.
I would disagree, we can show turning
Well,
movements.
I think you should, well, what's the distance of that paved asphalt, is my question. It looks like it's the size of the building.
I wanna say it's 100 feet, but I can verify.
Yeah, I think,
we're gonna need to see dimensions on it.
Yeah.
That's gonna be one of my comments moving forward here, is we do need to see dimensions, radii and everything for that asphalt parking lot also,
Grading.
and grading.
I mean, it looks 80 feet at the most, because it's just a little less deep than the building itself. So I just don't see how you back a boat in.
We can add turning movements on. when we-
Yeah, and I'd like to know what the largest boat that's going in there is going to be.
Okay.
And I'm looking at C100 of the plans that actually show lot dimensions and lot lines. What is that diagonal line that cuts through coming off of the elevations at 435, 430, that little mound right there. What is that diagonal line coming up? Yeah, that one,
That
yes.
cuts through here.
Yes.
So I believe that's the property line, which is something that I think also needs to be cleaned up. At one
Yes.
point, there was a subdivision map showing everything to be combined. I don't believe that was filed for some reason.
Yep.
Which is something that certainly needs to be cleaned up.
Okay, that's one of my comments too. So yeah, we're gonna have to look at the property here and also do that as part of this application. My other question is that that gravel road that you show there coming off of that back lot that connects over to the hotel parking lot, that's not, you're not using that.
I don't believe anyone's using it. I'm not sure what it's there for. I actually drove out there. I want to say it's chained off on this.
Okay, I haven't been out there to look at it, so we did submit this to the county, and the reason I'm asking that, because I think they're referencing that. They're either referencing that driveway or they're referencing the lot line that we just spoke about. So, just quickly, we did, like I said, we submitted this to the county planning board. They did come back with the comment of the municipality is advised to ensure legal access agreements are in place shown on the approved site plan and filed with the appropriate deeds to access the storage building via the adjacent parcel. So, I'm assuming they're talking about the big lot line that we were just discussing and not the gravel, but the gravel was my concern when I first saw this, was hopefully they're not using that, because then you're gonna need a cross easement, and we should show that, if there is a chain link fence there, we should show that on the site plan itself.
I think it's just a chain between concrete blocks, but I'll go out and verify.
Okay.
That road was originally there when there were supposed to be 2 hotels and indoor motocross. And they were going to take like golf carts from the hotel to the Quaker Steak and Lube. Like
Interesting.
ferry people back. So there may be a crossing there.
Okay.
But Jake Wright owned it all the time, so I doubt it.
So it's gotta be a Donzi at most.
Okay. So I guess, couple things, so there's a couple things that need to be addressed here, obviously, that the property line is a big one. So I ask you, do you want us to move forward with scheduling a public hearing for next meeting?
I would, based off of, I believe there was already a subdivision map approved and it was just never filed.
Filed.
So I think we could very simply file that and eliminate this issue, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Okay.
I actually think, I'm not sure if the subdivision map may have been filed, but there was some back and forth. You're talking about with the property with the town? There was some back and forth for, if I remember correctly, with James Trasher on legal descriptions and what have you. It may be a question of whether or not the deeds were, the subdivision map was filed, but whether the deeds were actually filed afterwards, consistent with the map. If you follow me on that.
Okay. All right. So, obviously some work to do on the site plan. Chair entertain a motion to schedule a public hearing for Jammers Boat Storage, 6952 Winchell Road, tax map ID number 055.04-02.1. For October 7th? No. What month am I looking at? Yeah, October 7th. End of motion.
Move.
Hearing first and second, any
I
comments?
think it's the 14th.
Vote.
October 14th.
Sorry, October 14th, that says planning board on 7th.
Yep.
What's wrong?
That's the workshop meeting in the morning.
Okay. October 14th, end of motion.
Yeah, I don't know.
We
Did I
good?
get a first and second?
First, yeah.
Second.
Hearing first and second, any comments? Hearing no comments, all those in favor? Against? Scheduled. So we'll see you next month. If you can get any of these updates on the site plan, to get it into codes as soon as possible. We'll review it at the next pre-agenda meeting, and we should be good to go. Thank you.
With a 14-foot door. Problem is, the door's 14 foot. So it's not a yacht. That's the issue.
This guy ran over the geese?
Yeah.
Not proven, man.
Yeah, well, that's it.
Did I put my agenda in here or something?
Yeah, that's the area variance for.
Right.
So this is
Okay.
deep to the rec building.
All right. Next item on the agenda, Town of Geddes zoning 114 State Fair Boulevard, tax map ID number 059.04-01.0. This was a referral that we got from the Town of Geddes. Basically, a small triangular piece of this property is actually on Town of Van Buren property. The rest is on, the majority of it's on the Town of Geddes property. They're looking to fill this. Sorry. Looks like they're looking to put up a fence with a gravel lot in the back of this unit. So there's a small portion of the corner of the stockade fence that would actually cut across the town boundary line. When we reviewed this in the pre-agenda meeting, there really wasn't any issue with this, and I guess I bring it up to the board. Is there any comments on this? If not, we will prepare a letter to send to the Town of Geddes with a no issue on the referral. So you'd be looking at basically that southwest corner, more like the western corner if you would. Small little piece that jumps over. So. Any issues from the board? Nadine, do we need approval from the board to send this letter?
Well, you're all here, so you could just simply pass a motion since you have it on the agenda. I would.
Any comments from the board?
I'm just having a hard time understanding this map, it's so small. But I'll trust you.
Essentially a vacant lot between two existing buildings and two existing businesses, and one of the businesses wants to use it for additional storage.
Yeah. And none of the storage is in the property, it's just the corner of the stockade fence.
Still don't make sense of it, but okay.
Chair entertain a motion to approve a positive referral back to the Town of Geddes for 114 State Fair Boulevard, tax map ID number 059.04-01.0. End of motion.
Vote.
Hearing first and second, any comments? Hearing no comments, all those in favor? Against? Approved. Nadine, is that something I need to gin up? We have to put together a letter, or is this just a resolution we'll go to the town?
You can just send them a resolution.
This thing.
Nadine, for my own edification, does it matter that we are zoned local business and they are zoned industrial on the same lot?
It depends.
I figured, but just curious.
Come back.
Go away.
All right. Next item on the agenda, Dr. Katarua and Ms. Hart, 422 Dewport Road, tax map ID number 064.03-46.1. This is for a height and lot coverage variance for an existing site. Food plots.
Hello. Oh, Alex Samray with Kepler and Freeman Associates at 6320 Fly Road in East Syracuse. And I'm here representing the applicants and owners of the site. We are back in 2023. We were here for a lot coverage variance of this building and along with the site plan review, and they have installed everything but this recreational building, which we are back for. Everything else has been done. And when they went to pull permits, the building had increased in size, and it was found that the lot coverage was no longer in compliance. And so I guess we're back to do for that. And then just this week, we found out the building height also needed a variance, so I updated the application just to include a little bit so that it shows that for you guys and has the description of a new application. It's just, the major difference is back here, just in the explanation of description and why we're requesting it, which I was asked to bring up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I guess, while I pass them out, I can summarize. I'll try to talk really loud. The building height, I believe, while this is a PUD, the code has all zones at 15 feet, and this recreational facility is about 32 feet tall. That's how tall it was in the previous application. The building height didn't change. And it got slightly larger to house mechanical, that this back end has some going on for air. And I guess that's kind of the details of it. If you guys have any questions, I made sure to include in the plan so everyone was on the same page in the variance calculations where we got the square footages of everything, and it includes absolutely anything that's impervious. In that number we are requesting.
So you're showing 43%, you're looking for 40%, 45%?
I just wanted to make sure.
Understood, understood. Just clarifying that for the board.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, for the height variance itself, requirement's 15,
Yeah.
you're looking for 32 feet?
The building's about there. I was just re-looking at the architecturals we submitted, and that's about where it falls, or that is where it falls, sorry, not about. And mostly like I outlined in our alternative section you guys requested, mostly that we know that it's not a necessity, I suppose. And that while it could be possible to construct a shorter building that would require a smaller variance or none at all, the additional height allows for the use of the space as a basketball court, half basketball court, that is the accessory recreational use of it, and what the applicant and owners wanted and had previously proposed. So I suppose it is their request to have it remain how they had previously presented it.
This was 30, so you're saying it was 32 feet originally? Mm-hmm. I don't recall that.
I didn't print them, I should have. I pulled up the previous plans just to make sure.
Do you have contours of this?
I can definitely get them on.
Is that roof gonna be seen from the road now?
I don't
I
believe.
know there's a slope back there, because I remember
Yeah.
this property, it
Yeah,
was in
so-
for fence problems, if you all remember that, and there was a variance for the fence, it was drawn incorrectly, and this and that, and everything else, so. But yeah, I think I'd like to know if this is gonna be seen at the road. The other thing is, for me, there was several signatures from the neighbors
Yeah,
in support of this. I think we can all agree that this has been built out a lot more since then. So I'd like to see another round of signatures.
yeah, we can definitely get that. We already talked to the owners and they've already talked to the neighbors and everyone's still okay with it and agreement with it going in. And we will triple check, but I'm almost positive, I'll put my drawings in, it's not seen from here. It's tucked down quite a bit by grade.
Yeah.
This neighbor is one that's specifically spoken to and there's no neighbors down here, so.
Sorry.
No, all good. All right, any other comments from the board right now before I schedule a public hearing?
Yeah, I'm sorry, what'd you say the height of the building was?
32 feet?
33,
32.
32, okay.
So the median height is 28 foot. The peak of the building
Yeah.
is 32. Code is 15 for the median height. So she would need a variance, they would need a variance to accommodate the height of the building. So if you give it 32 or 28,
Yeah, I guess I assumed it was the peak. I should have asked where we were measuring. Okay.
So do we want to move forward with 28 feet, or do you want to move forward with 32 feet?
Whatever you guys would prefer, whatever makes you most comfortable, I guess.
I would say 29. I think it's 28.
I need a number. We need to figure out exactly what number you want to go for.
I mean, I guess I just don't want to be back again.
Well, that's what I'm trying to avoid here,
So I guess that's why I'm putting it on you guys. I agree, the plans show the mean height, but then the peak, and I know different towns have different specifics of what they go by, so.
So, we're not talking peak, Tom, we're talking the median height, correct?
Yeah.
That would be 28 then.
And that's 28 feet.
29 to be safe. 28 and change,
Okay, Rain Man.
just reiterate.
Everybody always told me lawyers were in the gray, not engineers. Just throwing it out there.
That's why I'm asking if I'm not in the gray here. I like things down to
If you're
the,
going to grant them what they are requesting now, they'll be fine.
well, I'm not gonna give them 32 feet, because that's another 5 feet above what, or another 3 feet above what they're asking for, or what they need. And if there's no way that this building's gonna get taller, then I'd rather grant exactly what they need instead of going to 32 feet. I'd rather be 29 feet if that's what we're looking at.
This was a PUD, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's part of
I
the,
didn't see the side yard setbacks in the zoning data. You've got five listed for accessory structures.
Correct.
Is that
That is
Is
correct.
that
and I
what
was
this
told
PUD was set at?
by him, yeah.
yes.
Okay.
That I confirmed previously. And then, just for the board's knowledge, the code requirement for lot coverage is 20%. It was originally approved for 29%, now we're looking at 45%.
And that's because of the driveway.
That's because of the driveway.
And that was under Casey, was it not?
No, Chris.
Chris? Okay.
So to be specific, it's 28 foot and 5/8 of an inch. That's the change.
29 feet it is.
I have to change that to the hard.
We're looking at a 14-foot variance.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, Chair entertain a motion to schedule a public hearing for 422 Duport Road, tax map ID number 064-03-46.1 for Tuesday, October 14, 2025.
Move.
Second?
Here first and second, any comments? Hearing no comments, all those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Scheduled.
Thank you.
So we'll see you back next month.
Yep.
No, I'll give that.
All right. Last item on the agenda, Harbor Heights Downer Street Tax Map ID number 036.036.03-21.0. This is for a zone change from an AR40 to a PUD. Give your name and address, please.
Can y'all turn that so the camera could pick it up?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Thanks. Because I'm sure there's going to be people very interested in that map.
Good evening, my name is Dan Barnacle with Eldon Homes. We're here tonight, I'm going to introduce our engineer here in a moment. I just wanted to reacquaint the board with where we are on this project. This is an extension of the Harbor Heights community. This represents 11.9 acres between Downer Street and Homemain Road. We appeared before the board about a year ago, a little less than a year ago. After a couple of appearances, we received a recommendation for a zone change to R15. The zone change application was denied. We submitted a zone change request to R20. That request was denied. We submitted a zone change request to PUD. That request was referred back to this board. There's a similar property or a property that's part of the entire project that has been before the board for the last few months. It's on hold. It's the 30 acres that is west of Homemain Road. We will eventually request a referral or a recommendation from this board on that parcel as well. That zone change request was also to PUD. That was upon the suggestion of this board that it would be PUD. I'll leave it to your discretion and to the town board's discretion whether they want to hear both matters at the same time, or if we feel that this approval could be more expeditious, we're happy with the board just focusing on this place. So that being said, I'm going to introduce Al Yeager. He's an engineer with the Harbor engineering firm, and he's going to take it from here.
Thank you, Dan.
How you doing? Al Yeager, CJ Consulting, 300 South State Street.
Use the microphone, please. Thank you.
300 South State Street, Suite 600, Syracuse, New York. On behalf of Eldon Homes, we're representing them on this matter. So this is preliminary. Obviously, what we've come in with is a minimum lot width of 75 feet, minimum lot depth of 150 feet, minimum front yard setbacks of 25 feet, minimum rear yard setbacks of 25 feet for the principal structure and 5 feet for the accessory structure, minimum side yard setbacks of 5 feet on one side, 15 feet total, minimum lot building area of 6,000 square feet, a maximum height of 30 feet, and a maximum lot coverage of 50%.
Your plan says 70.
This plan that we have in front of us says 70, but the application says 50.
I apologize, it should be 50.
Okay.
We've accounted for stormwater management in the northeast corner of the site, which is the direction of natural flow here. There is a culvert that goes under the road to the east of the site. I've spoken with the town engineer about existing easements. At this time, there are no existing easements in this area. So our discharge from the pond would be through a level spreader to discharge as it normally does at rates equal to pre-development. The request for the side yard setback, with these being slightly narrower lots, that allows for a side load garage if a buyer wanted to incorporate that into their home construction. You know, the need for narrower lots really is related to lot costs. You know, it's like $700 a foot right now to construct roads and associated utilities in a subdivision like this. We could all do the math of what that extra 15 feet on every lot does to the lot cost. It's a significant increase in what the lot cost for the ultimate buyer is. It is 15 feet narrower than what is in the lots to the north of the project. However, it is in line with what the current trends are in the home building community to go to narrower lots long term.
All right, so we just tried to jam in 29 homes into this area, and we originally were at like 22, 23.
That's not entirely accurate. We haven't accounted for the power lines that bisects the property.
That was my next comment.
I'm sure there'll be some lot loss there. And as I explained to the board on other occasions, we're not sure what the net result will be when the design is done.
Understood.
We haven't rolled up the sleeve and done that part of the engineering.
Yep.
Yeah, this is maximum density that could.
What about wetlands? What have we done with wetland delineation and determinations?
So we have not done delineation on this site yet. There are no mapped wetlands on the site. There are some wetlands adjacent on the opposite side of Downer Street, and there's some small pockets of wetlands to the north and east of the site. This site does appear to be relatively dry from walking it. I don't necessarily see anything other than on the very eastern edge where the culvert goes underneath Downer Street. Other than that, there really does not appear to be a lot of wet area on this particular parcel.
Matt Martin from Plumbing Engineering has walked the site. He's familiarized me with areas that could be wet. They're exactly as Alan described. And upon delineation, if we discover that there's more than is anticipated, they'll have to be designed.
Okay. So I don't want to speak for the rest of the board, but, you know, my first instinct when I saw this is 29, you know, lots, which I completely understand the engineering's not done. This is max density, but what I'd really like to see, and we'll get, you know, we'll work our way through this, is really looking at this lot width and trying to get up to that 90-foot lot width to be similar to other areas of building in this area or other lot sizes in this area. I think that's my biggest sticking point at this point is the lot width.
I certainly understand the concern. With that being said, we were directed to ask for a PUD, which is, you know.
Yeah, anything flies, I'm done.
But by design, that would allow for an increase in density.
It would, if we approve it all.
But that was the request of the board, so that's what we've done.
Okay. So yeah, it's, you know, stormwater obviously needs to be sized. So I just refer to section 200-33 of the codes. Obviously, there's a full list of items that need to be addressed before we can even move forward with any approval or whatever on the site. So I just reference that for your use as we continue down this path and process to you know, review the site plan and overall impacts. You know, traffic is obviously a concern. This is proposed to be a private road or public road?
Public road.
Public road. You know, the conversations are gonna have to be had with the New York State DOT regarding the location of the access road coming off of Downer Street. You know, the co-main access itself, I'm not overly concerned with because of the distance off of the intersection with Downer Street. I think it is far enough back. But once again, that might change, you know, based on the engineering that needs to take place as part of this site plan development, so. Does the board have any other comments? initial comments on what you're seeing here?
I think from the beginning, most of the board was okay with a PUD. I just, to the chairman's point, I would like to see something more realistic. I mean, we have an electrical easement going through a home here. So it's just, it's tough to get an idea of, you know, what we could potentially be looking at for a PUD when it's not realistic to have electrical lines going through a home, right? So
The other
that's my biggest
alternative
issue.
is, as part of the URD for this project, that could be run underground. From the survey we have, at this point in time, it does not appear that those overhead lines are actually in an existing easement.
Right.
So obviously, the developer's preference would be for National Grid to relocate their power underground as part of the URD for this project.
Have fun with that conversation. Yeah, you're gonna try to get an easement out of them too, or try to have them develop an easement, or even prove that they have an easement, and I once again say good luck.
Yes. We understand.
Yeah, I agree with Jesse. I mean, that's obviously was my first comment that I had about the lot size. But there's a lot of, there's a lot of work that needs to be done here in regards to all this, all these.
Could you be more specific? At
Say that
this
again?
point, we're asking for a referral for a zone change. It sounds like you're asking to vet out more of the subdivision requirements.
Yeah, I mean, we need to have a better idea of what we're looking at here before we can make any sort of a referral back to the town board for a PUD approval.
Lot size. width,
Lot size,
number,
lot number,
house
density.
location.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole section in 200-3 or 33 that needs to be addressed. I think there's 22 items that need to be addressed as part of this review process. Drainage needs to be shown. You need to show evidence
If
that,
I may be blunt, I knew that
Be
going
blunt.
to the PUD was going to require us to check more boxes, cross more hurdles.
Mm-hmm.
But we're already sitting in a situation where by right, we can build 24 without a zone change. So I don't want the project, we've been at it a year.
Understood.
I don't want to be at it another year.
I understand that. So,
that's-
Al's got
that's
his
why I'm
work cut
trying-
out
That's
for
why
him.
I'm trying to expedite that.
Understood.
Well, But I don't want to be throwing darts at the board. I would like you to vet out with us. So hit the 22 things on the list and you're saying that's it.
Well, I'm saying that you have to come in front of our board and prove that you can meet these 22 items in our discussions of what we need to do to approve this. And I'm not gonna send it back to
I
the,
understand that, and satisfy a lot of it and a lot number that you're also okay at.
that's correct. But we also
So
need,
there's a subjective element to it in addition to an objective element.
that's correct.
I'd rather just vet out the subjective elements now so we don't waste our time on the objective elements. So
So,
subjectively, I'd like to know what's an acceptable lot width and what's an acceptable lot number. I don't think that's too much to ask.
no, it's not. And 90 foot is what I'm looking to do. And
The
I,
ones in the other section of Paradise that we developed, several of them, probably as many as 30 or so, were less than that.
yeah, and we agreed, you mentioned it, a year ago, we went through and this board itself agreed to an R15, layout in here. Obviously, that's, we had a positive referral coming out of here. And, R15, those lot sizes are,
So is anything less than under 90, is anything less than 90 unacceptable?
if you can prove that it's absolutely needed, based on a realistic layout of these sites and not looking at 29, lots here,
So 29 is unacceptable.
I'm not saying it is or not. I just want to,
I'm
I need
sure-
something
I
really-
don't think we could fit 29. So
I know you
the
can
number-
fit
The number's
29.
going to be somewhere between 24 and 27, I think. It's going to be somewhere.
Okay. I just want something more realistic to look at than a colored drawing
You
here.
understand what I'm saying, though?
I completely
I don't want to
understand.
waste all the time and money to come here to have a subjective hang-up. So I think it'll be something between, somewhere approaching 90 feet, maybe less, somewhere approaching 27 lots.
Okay,
If we're not
so-
hung up on that, then we'll be happy to go back and address the 22 items.
So I gotta go back and look at what I mentioned 22 or 23 lots before. That was based on the R15, which was, once again, it was just a conceptual layout that didn't, take into some things into account. I just wanna see something more realistic on here that we can look at and work with you to develop what we need within this PUD.
Well, that was it. I appreciate it.
I mean, and I'm willing to work, and this board's willing to work with you on, on that, and I understand the process that we have gone through. I can't fault any of the process that's gone on, from now on. We've been, fully honest with the way we've approached this on this board side of things. So I'm just being honest right now that I would like to look at 90-foot lot, widths of these lots and something more realistic of what kind of density we're looking at here. I think that's the first step.
So we'll come back so what we would like to do before the next meeting, is it possible to have a committee meeting on the PUD zoning, before we come back to you, in the formal meeting?
I have no problem with that. We have discussed, putting together a committee.
Okay, that'd be great.
For the PUD on
I think
this.
that will expedite the process to some degree, and keep the planning board involved in the process as we move forward.
Agreed. So, in the meantime, we will develop a committee for this.
Okay.
And we'll get back to you guys and schedule a
Yeah, if we
meeting.
can schedule a meeting in the next couple weeks, that'd be great, and we'll move forward with your direction at this time and see where we end up.
I just, once again, just reference that section 200-33, because there are stuff.
You know, I'm very
I know.
familiar with it.
I know you are, I know. I'm just, more so for everybody, in general.
Do you see the need for the PUD parameters to be the same for both parcels, or they can be unique to each one?
They can be unique to each one. I'm okay, and both lots have different dynamics, there's no doubt about it. We've talked about that other lot in another committee meeting. So, we've had talks about that, and they can definitely be different, because they have different characteristics.
Thank you.
This is, the tough part about this lot is the size of the lot, the location of the lot, and, like Dan, you admitted it, we're not gonna have 29 lots. There's not gonna be 29 lots when this is all said and done. So I'd like to get closer to what the expectations of this density is gonna be.
Fair enough.
Keeping in mind that our first take, and once again, I don't wanna speak for the board, and I asked, the rest of the board on their thoughts on the lot width, and this can be discussed in that committee, but, is there any thoughts on the lot width or anything that you see on this at this point from the rest of the board?
So when I looked at this, I said, all right, we've got an existing neighborhood to the north. So, which encompasses roughly 13 lots, to where the home on lot number 16 sits, right? If you look at it that way. So, double that, you're at 26.
Really, the property owner goes to 14.
The lots,
Yeah, but you've got stormwater there, right?
Oh, yeah,
So you
yeah,
can't-
absolutely, yeah.
So you can't, I threw that lot out simply because it's not buildable area. You're gonna have to sacrifice some for drainage. So that's kind of the calculations that went in my head.
you're trying to match the density.
Yeah, pretty much.
The lots to the north are a little unique. They were developed at a time where the property line went to the road center line. So if you actually measured the lots today, they're less than 15,000 feet because of the way development went. So that's probably why they are a little uniquely dimensioned. So it's somewhat impossible for us to match that.
No, I'm not asking you to match it, I'm just saying, okay, from a density perspective, what's to the north? What makes sense for this parcel, knowing that you don't have as much depth on this parcel as you did previously here, because it was a much bigger development.
I've always appreciated that. I've always tried to go, as I've gone toward objectionable areas, like the closer I go to something that's harder to sell, the more density I may need to offset it. So better said, I get to a busy road, my expectations are smaller lots as opposed to going deeper into the
Correct.
Would the board,
I completely agree with that.
would the board be amenable to narrower lot widths on the south side of the road that back up to 13? Because as Dan said, boy, it's awful hard to hit the price point that you're going to need to hit for a 90-foot lot that backs up and down the street.
I'm still at 90. But once again, we can talk about it when we
Okay.
have, a different layout here to really show what we're looking at.
Okay. Or,
Like, I'm not gonna speak for the rest of the board, but that's where I'm holding it right now.
but just as Dan said, these are
Understood?
less desirable lots back up to 31.
No doubt about it.
It's very hard to sell a lot like that.
10.5 is
Is there
what,
some consistency with 90 feet vis-a-vis what's previously been approved by the board?
I mean, that's,
Traybrook, Sun Meadows,
when I look at this site and when we discussed this as part of that R15 review, that's where I was. 90 feet was
At
where
R15,
I'm
I
at.
had no choice other than the cost range that we requested.
Understood.
But with PUD, we were trying to get the latitude of giving some dimensional flexibility. I can't say what the width is going to be until he lays it out.
Correct.
I'm fairly certain the lot count's going to be somewhere between 24 and 27.
I mean, you're gonna have flexibility on some of this stuff. There's no doubt about it as part of this PUD process. I'm only referencing one
Yeah, I mean,
dimensional.
You could do the math. We have a hard cut in the middle. We can only divide the remaining area on
Yep.
each side so much.
100%. And you got a road that you have to make a connection, and you got stormwater. So you're restricted by those three at minimal. Forget wetlands right now. We're not even looking at wetlands yet, so. So I guess I go down. Roger, any comments on your end?
No.
Jesse?
No, I think you said it, right? We started kind of at 22, 23-ish, we're at 29, and we just want to see something realistic with the restraint, the constraints of the site. I think for me also, the 50% coverage with just a driveway and a building is a little concerning. I think to Mark's point, if we can see just a little bit of an expansion in a lot size, maybe that allows folks to add other impervious surface to a very small lot without, increasing that percentage. Just thinking long-term for residents that are gonna live there. So just a lot of moving parts. It's complicated. This is a very interesting lot for sure to do this, so, yeah. But I think the chairman said most of it.
Jamie?
I've agreed with most of what you said. I guess I get the setbacks for the accessory structures. 5 feet doesn't seem like a lot to me. I'd be more comfortable with something like maybe 15 feet.
I think
For
R15
sheds.
allows for 5-foot setback on accessory.
PUD didn't do this.
But once we get, if we start increasing the lot, the lot width, some of that changes. So, I mean, there's a lot of different moving parts here, so. Okay.
I think we're close.
So, anything else, any other questions?
Just let us know
Dan?
when you want to have a committee meeting, we appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll get this, go ahead.
just for my benefit, Dan, when you came in, was it 12 duplexes for 24, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just trying to remember that number. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen, appreciate it. We'll be in touch pretty quickly here on setting up a date.
So good for 24 though, I thought that was going to be an acceptable number. They could make money on that number of lots. No, I mean, it's been a year, the cost freaking rise. Yeah.
I mean, it's it's $700 to run those. It's 10,500.
While we're sitting here, I was gonna send out an email to the board, including Claude, and I don't wanna set up a committee without Jim and Claude being part of the conversation, so I'll send out an email to the entire board
Yeah, I'd like to be a part of it.
so there's one volunteer, so, we'll get a reading from everybody on the board, we'll set up this committee, and then we'll set up a time to, meet.
You usually meet in the afternoons or?
We're flexible.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to move to what our flexibility is regarding, the board's, schedules, so we'll figure out what that is. Any other items, from the board? Anything on your end, Tom or Jason, to discuss on anything while the meeting's open?
We had a little discussion back here, I didn't hear you said.
But it was applicable,
It was.
the discussion.
It was about wetlands.
It was about wetlands
Oh, yeah, that's gonna be.
and the 100-foot buffer on the wetlands
We'll
and
talk.
how much that can impact the project.
is what we were just discussing.
I was gonna tell Jesse here, what say you on wetlands? Because I was waiting for her to go through the whole dissertation, so, okay. Chair entertain a motion to close the September 2025 zoning and planning board meeting for the town of Van Buren.
Second.
Hearing first and second, any comments? Hearing no comments, all those in favor? Against?
How's your baby doing?
Carried. Everyone have a good night. We'll
She's
see you
doing
next
well.
month.
Senior year, you know, she got
Driving
her
to school?
picture taken. She's driving to school, although she didn't get it. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, we closed the meeting.
We did.
Didn't we close the meeting?
Yeah, we're good.
Oh, we did? Okay.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here.